Lisa Antovakhorst is our guest tonight on Education Exchange, your favorite TV program ever, and the most popular all over the country. Because we are on YouTube, by the way, so everybody watches us. And we get viral. Every time we make one episode, it gets viral. So we are happy tonight to have you with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
The principal of Hills Elementary School, a wonderful small community at the border of Iowa City, 900 people, 1,000, something like that, and a school of how many out there?
125.
125. And a community that embraces school,
Yes.
just like the dearest part of it.
Yes, absolutely.
And you are the leader there.
Yes.
How did you come to be the leader of the school?
Well, I was really fortunate to become a part of the Iowa City Community School District and become the principal at Hills after I was in Cedar Rapids for approximately 21 years. So in Cedar Rapids, I worked as a teacher and a Title I reading teacher and an instructional coach, and then I was a principal for 4 years. And it worked out great. My family moved to the Kelowna area, and so I was looking for a new opportunity and a great learning experience, and I was
Just
so
a little
fortunate.
sentence about your family. Tell us about it.
Sure. I have two stepsons. Ben is 23 and Alex is 21. And then I have a daughter, Olivia, who's 13, and my son, Nathan, who's 11. And, of course, my husband, Larry.
Wonderful.
So,
And now I hear from the people in the community that you're a teacher too. How come you're a principal and teacher? This is
well,
quite unusual.
one of the things I love about education is working. It's about the kids, and it's about reaching them and touching them and working with them and helping them in any way that we can. And as a principal for a long time, I've loved being in the classroom, and that's been a hard part for me to not do. And so at Hills, I'm really fortunate in the fact that I get to teach 2 reading groups twice a week. And so I meet with students, and the students that I meet with are the students that need to have their learning extended. And there's the students that are ready to do some research projects. They're taking off, and it's great to inspire them and get them into different pieces of literature. And our school is such that we're a very small school, 125 students, and so we have a small staff. And our goal is to make sure that every student gets every learning need met. And in order to do that, all the students are exposed to whole group instruction, but we also get them into small group instruction as frequently as possible. And some students need that every day to close their gap or to practice more, and some students need some extensions, and that's the group of students I work with, because with my position as an administrator, I can't meet with them every day because of my other responsibilities. But I feel really fortunate that I still have an opportunity to practice that science and art of educating students. I feel like it keeps me better connected and better able to support our staff with our initiatives and things that we are doing to best support students.
About 3 or 4 years ago, I was watching all the debate about the future of your school.
Sure.
And as many of our citizens here, I was concerned about how this community is going to perceive the idea of dismantling a school that's really the heart and the core of people's passion in this community.
Yes.
And so it's good that we have been promised, or I think we heard that the school is going to continue. But at that time, some people were repeating, and some board members were saying that it's a very costly school. And it costs more than average in Iowa, more than average in the United States even. And that's why something has to be done. And suddenly we know that something has to be done was to close it up. And the community went into roar there, and there was an anger and rage all over. And I was watching this, and I felt Now I feel what it means when you say we are so proud. And even your motto, because you are the lightning bolts who struck with pride.
Yes.
So can you extend on this philosophy a little bit? Because the community is really, really keen about its school so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
And how did you outreach to the community the way you did? Because now I hear that you got the city on your side
Yes.
in a wonderful program that I will let you talk about. And then you got the Hills Bank and the Statsmans and help you in other activities.
Yes.
So can you elaborate on this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we're definitely struck with pride. Our whole community, whether it's the community of the school climate within our building or the outreach that we have within the community, there's a lot of pride in everything that we take on, and I think a lot of that comes because there's a passion and a mutual relationship between the community and the school. One of the things that the City of Hills has done, our City Council gives our school $20,000 every year. And that money goes to programming to our Hills Learning Center. And the Hills Learning Center is a great opportunity for our students to extend their school day. And we work with students that, once again, they get to work in a small group to work on skills that they need extra help on. Or we also have students that are extending their learning. And we also partner with Johnson County Extension. Clover Kids comes out. We have Children's Museum come. And so we also do a lot of enrichment experiences for the students. And that is all possible because the Hill City Council supports us in that effort. And so the students stay until 5 o'clock, 5:30 some nights.
You don't want to go home?
They love it, and they're very involved. We also work with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. They come and they do the programming on site at school. So a lot of different experiences are offered for the students to not only enrich but also extend their learning. And so that's a great partnership with our city of Hills. Hills Bank always, if we need anything, they're right there. Whether it's buying the lightning bolt T-shirts for our students that say "I'm struck with pride," they make sure that every student who walks in our doors walks out with a lightning bolt T-shirt. And we have special days where we wear those on Pride Fridays and things of that nature. They also support having Old Creamery Theater come to our school. And that's a special treat for our students because the theater does a tremendous program where they talk about those social skills, but also it's very engaging for the students, and it's a celebration. We're celebrating those skills through that presentation, and Hills Bank supports that. But our latest project, we have quite a large area that is currently a prairie garden, and we really want the students
Is
to...
it the walking tree?
Well, that's a piece of it.
Okay.
Our prairie garden right now needs a lot of work, and we're partnering with Stutzman's and Hills Bank. We are going to convert that prairie area. It's the same garden space, but instead of continuing with the prairie plants, we're going to plant vegetables and it's a 60 by 100 feet area where we will be planting tomatoes and peppers and onions and potatoes and all sorts of watermelons, pumpkins, you name it. And each classroom will be a part of that process. They'll have an area of that garden that they'll care for, help plant,
Is
and
it
take.
organic too?
Yes,
Oh,
we're
wonderful.
doing organic, and so the community it's all hands on deck again. Everyone is participating, supporting it by the people power to get it going and keep it going during the summer. We're also partnering with our PTO. Families are going to sign up, at least 2 families per week that will go to the garden over the summer, weed it, water it, take care of it, help harvest it. We're going to put a process in place where families can take that food home, and it will provide possible menu ideas, recipes for them to use that fresh produce. And then Hills Bank is also going to help us with a farmer's market type setting with that. And so, and Stutzman's is testing our soil and making sure we have all the right ingredients to help everything grow well, and educating the students on plant growth. And so it has a nice tie to the core curriculum in the writing experiences, the reading that can come from that, the science, the math, there's all sorts of things. And that will work in conjunction with our Hills Learning Center. So that will also extend their learning and enrich their learning. And it's going to be a neat project. And then the tree part of that is we have written a grant, Tree for Kids, and we will have a walking arboretum. And there will be a map that will point out where all the different new trees are planted. And students will be participating with that, as well as Stutzman's and Hills Bank. Employees are going to help us get those trees in the ground and help with watering. I believe they're going to give us some barrels to collect water and everything else so that we can make this project go really well for our school. So lots of neat partnerships going on where we're really all working together, and it's a very mutual relationship where we try to give back to them as well. Our students have spent a lot of time the last few months thinking of ways to give back to the community. And one thing we just did, we did a mini dance marathon at Hills, and students brought in, they emptied their banks and did extra chores at home, and we had the dance marathon, but we also had families who wanted to match different amounts. And so our small school within 1 week raised $705 to give to the Iowa Children's Hospital. So that was one effort. Another neat thing going on in the city is putting in water treatment, and our students are reading lots of books, and they want to help raise funds to build a well in Sudan. And so they're talking to the community of Hills about how we can partner with them to do that and raise some money because we're getting clean water, and we want to spread that to other parts of the world. And so,
and obviously, the study about the chemistry and the pollution and the environment, yes, and all parasites and all that.
Right.
Well, let me move to one thing that has been in my mind for quite some time, because when I first moved to reside in the United States, I remember someone told me Hills represents really the all-white homogeneous community, number one, and that Hills has the top tornado average in the United States. That was
really?
the stereotype about Hills. Now I hear that you have a big Latino community now.
Yes.
Or I mean, it's growing, right? Because it used to be, I think, 97.8 when I first came. Anglo-Saxon, white Anglo-Saxons, and maybe 0.3% or 0.2% African Americans. The Hispanic and Latino community never exceeded 4 or 5%. Now I hear that you have good percentage.
Yes, about 35% of our school has different ethnicity in it, African American, Latino, and so it's a very diverse population, and that's one thing that we really work hard to do is celebrate that diversity through our multicultural, gender fair curriculum. For example, we really worked hard on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We did a service project and we studied all sorts of different civic leaders. Cinco de Mayo is going to be a big day at our school where we're really celebrating and understanding different cultures and celebrating and showing that respect and growth of all the different cultures that come together.
Do you have Spanish language there?
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, we. I would say a good portion of our families are Spanish-speaking only. And I know a little Spanish, so I do rely on I do rely on some of our students to help me. I always say I can understand what you're saying, I just don't know how to say it. So yes, we do, and what a great opportunity for other students to learn and experience another language too. So it's pretty special how everyone chips in and helps the principal too when she's having a hard time trying to communicate with families and things.
I read that in February you had something big happen.
Yes.
What was it?
We had a literacy night, and it was a fantastic night. It tied to our Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Each classroom studied a civic leader that talked about service or emulated things that Dr. King talked about. And so, for example, our preschoolers did Abraham Lincoln, and they learned facts and shared that with the entire community. So we had our preschoolers up on risers. Our gymnasium was packed full of people, and they talked about Abraham Lincoln, and they also did a song about him. And so each class did that. Each class chose different leaders throughout U.S. history, world history. We had worldwide leaders as well. And part of that literacy night was connecting their learning to something special they did on Martin Luther King Day, but it was also showing and practicing that skill of reading, getting up in front of a crowd of people, projecting their voice, choral reading together, enunciating, pronouncing words clearly so the whole crowd could hear. There were skits, all sorts of different things. And then each student received a book about the leader that they talked about to their families. And then they also went to their classrooms and they learned different reading strategies, things families can do at home to continue the enjoyment of reading, but also how to improve upon reading. So it was a great night.
We are proud to have Hillary and Ozzy today, and they are our camera young women.
Yes.
And they are, you see, she is showing me the time cue here, which is very good. It's her first day, and I think she's taking a good picture because I can see myself in the monitor, look like a big star. So let us move now to another subject that's really important. Something happened last week
Yes.
in your school.
Yes. We celebrated Read Across America Week. And
What's that? Explain to the audience.
okay. Well, of course, it was Dr. Seuss's birthday, and
Yes.
we are all familiar with books like Green Eggs and Ham and One Fish, Two Fish, and he was such a proponent and driver in the importance of reading and encouraging reading, and with his literature and lots of fun, different ways for students. And so we really focused on teaching and encouraging students and celebrating the joy of reading. And we set up a special reading corner within our building, and throughout the day, classes would come and read there. And we're really working on, with students, building stamina, the ability to read for a long period of time and not give up and be persistent. And so that encouraged that as well. We had a special assembly where the entire school, again, choral read a portion of one of Dr. Seuss's books, One Fish, Two Fish. Right. And we also had a medley of, it was a song of different Dr. Seuss books that our first and second graders sang, and that was a lot of fun too. We also sang Happy Birthday to Dr. Seuss, and each student received a bookmark, and so we really capitalized on that, again, that importance of reading and how it's a lifelong skill and how there's models all around us and people all over that are trying to encourage us to continue that. And so that was, and also to celebrate, we had special days. For example, Green Eggs and Ham Day, everyone wore green, and we had a Dr. Seuss looking hat on Friday, the day of our assembly. We had a crazy day for another one of the books.
You had some hats made?
Yes, we had hats made.
Next time,
Yeah.
I'm a hat guy, so
I'll bring you one.
bring me so that I should have had one today. I will use it next time.
Okay. So, and that also worked with, we're also doing Feel Up to Play 60, which our 5th and 6th grade students are really involved in, and it's connecting health awareness and fitness. And so they prepared egg breakfast on our Green Eggs and Ham Day for the students, but they had to calculate what they needed, and they prepared it for the entire school. So it was a scrambled egg taco. They calculated how many eggs and tortilla shells and cheese and all sorts of things that they needed. They prepared it and they served it for the entire school. And these students are also tracking what they eat, how much activity they have. So right now they've earned enough points through this program to help our school earn $1,000 to put towards physical fitness and health awareness. And they will also be a part of, hopefully, an opportunity to have an NFL player come and visit our school too, through all their efforts and what they're doing. So,
before I move further, I just would like to remind our audience that this particular program will be always aired on Channel 21 cable. That's the education channel. And on Channel 18, that's the public access TV, where we are here. I mean, we actually, guests in the public access TV, they provide us with the help. We have Sarah Tate with us, a big director here, working with the father of this program that established it 20 years ago. That's Mr. John Karoff. We're going to have celebration very soon. Of course, the great director and host and producer, Mr. Peterson, Michael Peterson, who was a veteran educator. All of us are working with Josh Gooding and his team here, as well as Sarah Tate, and today we have Hillary and Ozzy again. So we're proud that we're trying to emulate you and reaching out to the community and bringing people to help us as much as we can in our education service. The thing that that's very remarkable about your school, some of your kids go to Southeast Junior High and others go the other direction, right?
yes.
I mean, you kind
Yes.
of ramify, like in any school, kids know exactly which would be their next one.
Right.
But they can choose, right?
Well, for a period of time, that was the
Right.
case because of the location of Hills and because we're 7 miles south of Iowa City, and we have a lot of boundary or attendance zone shifting that goes on. Some of our students, yes, there was a period in time when they would choose. Now all of our 6th graders will go to Southeast. So that time period has lapsed, and so now they'll move on to
That's a new
Southeast.
system that started last year.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes. So, but there are families at Hills that have students at several different schools because of
Right.
the shifting of the attendance zones.
Tell me a few words about the team of people who are working with you. I mean, the people that you're proud to give recognition to, who are really, they go the extra mile.
Oh, goodness.
And
Our entire staff.
you don't want to shed the light on certain one of them. So the other one say, hey, you didn't mention me, right? So you say you are politically correct. You say all of them are good.
They are. Our entire staff is very dedicated and very passionate about what they do. They work very hard, and I think they just have that genuine caring about the students and their families and the community. And a lot of what we're accomplishing as a school, it's our school community, but it's also the community support that we have from the community of Hills. And then I would also say the support pieces that we have in place, the professional development we receive from our district, that continual learning to get better at what we do to best reach students.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but some questions remain in my mind. You are a rich community. I mean, definitely, when we read the data in the census, for instance, like the average house, for instance, can in the United States, let's go to Iowa, is 140, that's 147,000.
Okay.
And yours is 160 or 170,000. Okay. This means that the community is rich. But in the meantime, you have 19%, 19.75 unemployment. What is this? I mean, how can this go with that?
Well,
I don't want to trap you here, but I mean, this is some of the contradictions that always in my mind. If this is such a rich community that can afford for good accommodations and condoms like this
sure.
and expensive residences, and in the meantime, they have a lot of unemployment.
Well, I think part of that, and when you look at our demographics, when you look at the size of our city and then the amount of students that are there, we have an older group of people that predominantly live in that area. Our students, our school actually has a very high free and reduced lunch rate, and that's how we get title funding and everything else, because we pull from a lot of those rural areas around hills. And so our school itself isn't necessarily, I wouldn't say it's rich. The community has a lot of resources within it, from longevity and well-established families and businesses.
Hillary is like whipping me now.
I saw that.
Wrap it up. Where are you going with that? So anyway, and we have a live audience there. You see in front
Yes.
of you. You're lucky to have all these people.
Yes.
So anyway, my audience, our audience, we are so proud of you. We're happy that you are watching us, and congratulations for your success, and wish you more and more. I have already talked about our program, when it's going to be aired, but I forgot to mention YouTube, because tomorrow night you can click on YouTube and you find this particular program, so the parents and kids can watch it.
Okay.
Lisa, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're proud and would like to see you again.
My pleasure.
And
Definitely come back.
I am so happy that you were able to involve the community with you in such a wonderful, passionate, compassionate way.
Thank you.
Our audience, have a wonderful spring night.